Hey everyone, it's Lisa Mears. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to be making some metallic snowflake Christmas cards. You can use these for winter cards if you don't celebrate Christmas. You can also turn these into thank you cards during the winter season. So let me show you the products that I'm going to be using today. These products here are part of a brand new bundle at scrapbook.com, and it's called the Dainty Snowflakes Bundle. This bundle is part of a live stream deal that they just released today. And in case you're watching this at a later date, it is November 9th, 2023. But if the bundle is sold out and you like this bundle, these products can be purchased individually, and I will have links to the bundle as well as the individual products in the description box below. If you are able to snag the bundle, they always have a really great price on their bundles, and again, it's only for a limited time. So this bundle includes the Snowflake dies, and the Snowflake dies consist of 6 snowflake dies. There's 2 large snowflakes. They also have 2 medium-sized snowflakes, and then they also have 2 small snowflakes. The bundle also includes a stamp and coordinating die set. This is the small Dainty Snowflakes stamp set with the matching dies, and there are 6 snowflakes in total. And it also includes a 6x8 paper pad of their holographic mirror paper, and I love this mirror paper. It is so sparkly and shiny. There are some gold and silver sheets, and look at the designs that are on here. So some of these designs have stars on them, and then there are also some designs that are just some dots like this one here, and there's also some solids. So there are some solid silver and some solid gold. I love the way that the light just catches this cardstock, and it has some beautiful rainbow colors that come through. So again, this is the Dainty Snowflakes bundle, and I'm going to make a couple of cards with it. So I started out for my first card and I die cut a large snowflake die out of some of the gold paper. Look how beautiful that die is. And I also took one of the medium size dies, die cut that out of the silver. And I took one of the small dies and die cut that out of gold. But look how beautiful and intricate these dies are. I love them so much. I've made several cards with these in the past because they've been around for a while. They are just new to this particular bundle. So these snowflakes can either be used by themselves or you can layer them up. And I love layering these snowflakes up by putting one of the large ones at the bottom, then followed by a medium-sized one, and then a smaller one. I'm only adding glue to the center of the snowflake and a little bit of the surrounding area, and then putting it right in the center of the large pile of snowflakes. And that way I can have some dimension because the ends of the snowflakes I can kind of pop up, and it's going to look really dimensional on my card. And then I'm going to put a little enamel dot right in the center. Look how pretty that snowflake is when it's layered with all of those 3 layers. So I'm going to take this snowflake and add it to some pattern paper. And I have the Noel 6x8 paper pad, and I'm just flipping through here to see which pattern I like best. It looks really pretty with that green. And I'm just going through here to see which one I want to use. So this card is super easy by just die cutting that snowflake die, gluing them together, and then adding them to some pattern paper. And you can really make a quick and easy card this way. You can use this for a Christmas card, you can use it for a winter card. If there's someone that you know that has a birthday and it's during the winter season, you can definitely use this for a birthday card as well. Okay, so I decided to use this particular pattern, It looked good on several of the patterns that were in there, but I'm going to use this one because it kind of has the same color scheme. So this pattern, I'm using the front and the back of the pattern is a solid brown, and it matches the leaves in the pattern. So the solid side is 4¼ by 5½ inches, and then I have a piece of the gold holographic mirror paper on top of that, and I cut that to 4¼ by 5�3/8, and then I have the pattern with the leaves on it, and I cut that to 4 by 5¼ I'm adding the Merry Christmas shadow dies from Pretty Pink Posh. I die cut them out of the gold holographic paper, and I'm just adding the words to the bottom, and the snowflake will be added to the top. So when I add the large snowflake to the top, I will put glue on the large snowflake and press that down onto my pattern paper, and then the smaller snowflakes I will not put glue on the back of those. That way that they are raised up a little bit and have dimension on this card. I love the way this card turned out. Here I'm just adding this to an A2 size card base. This was such a quick and easy card using the dies and some pattern paper. So for my next card, I am going to do a little bit of stamping, and I'm starting out with my sentiment, which is from the scrapbook.com Sentiments for Every Occasion. I love this stamp set. There's so many different sentiment stamps on here, from birthdays to Valentine's Day to Thanksgiving, Mother's Day, Christmas, and many more. I'm going to do some heat embossing, so I'm using my Pink and Main Magic Anti-Static powder brush and putting some powder on my cardstock. And I'm going to be using scrapbook.com's metallic gold ink. This is a pigment ink, and I chose to use this ink because I'm going to be using some gold embossing powder. So by sprinkling this Wow polished gold embossing powder onto this sentiment, you're not even going to be able to see the metallic gold ink underneath once I heat set this. But I chose to use the metallic gold ink instead of the Versamark clear ink because I can actually see that it's stamped fully onto my white cardstock. Sometimes when you use Versamark ink, since it's a clear ink, it's really hard to tell if you got all of that ink onto the cardstock. And using the metallic ink just makes it easier. So now I'm centering up the word Merry right above the word Christmas, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm inking it up with the metallic gold ink and stamping it down. Now, as I said earlier, this is a pigment ink. So pigment inks, they actually take longer to dry, and that's why I'm able to use this ink with my embossing powder and do some heat embossing. So I'm just sprinkling on my Wow polished gold embossing powder, and this is a very fine embossing powder, and it works beautifully on sentiment stamps such as these or very detailed stamps. And then I'm just going to heat set this, and then once I finish melting that embossing powder, I'm going to stamp some snowflakes onto this panel. So I'm adding this panel back to my Misti, putting some more powder all over the entire panel of cardstock. And I'm going to take all of my snowflake stamps and I'm going to arrange them to make a snowflake background on this card panel. I'm going to be using two different embossing powders, gold and silver, for my snowflakes. So right now I'm going to remove 3 of the snowflakes that I'm going to use the silver embossing powder on. So I'll add those back after I do my gold embossing. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp out with the gold metallic ink the 3 snowflakes that I have there in my Misti. I'll stamp them a few times, and then I'll sprinkle the polished gold embossing powder over all of those snowflakes, and then I'll heat set that. After the embossing powder is melted, I will return this panel to my Misti. I'll add some powder before I stamp out the next set of snowflakes. Now the powder is used just to make sure that the embossing powder doesn't stick where there's no ink. So it removes all of the static from the cardstock. And now I'm just taking those last 3 snowflake stamps and positioning them in the open space. And then this time I'm going to use the scrapbook.com Metallic Frost ink. This Metallic Frost ink is a kind of like a silver. It's very light and it is a little bit hard to see. So I am stamping it out a few times. And then after I stamp these out, I will be adding some of the polished silver embossing powder. And I'll go ahead and heat set this. So this card would be so pretty just to leave it as it is with a beautiful snowflake background with the gold and silver snowflakes, but I'm going to add more dimension to this card by adding some of the dies as well. So I die cut 2 of the large and 1 of the medium dies out of the holographic mirror paper, and I'm going to add them to my card. So I'm just going to add them right on top so you'll be able to see the stamped images underneath and the snowflake die cuts on top. I decided to add another layer of dimension by die cutting some of the smaller snowflake dies and adding them to the top to layer them. I will back this up onto a piece of gold holographic mirror paper. I did cut the center out of this one just so that I can save it for another project. And I'm adding the panel right on top, and then I'll add that to an A2 size card base. So the holographic mirror paper is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches, and the white panel is measured at 4 by 5 1/4 inches. I will finish this up by adding some of the silver enamel dots in the center of the snowflakes. So I hope you liked my cards today, and if you're interested in any of these products, take a look at the description box of this YouTube video for product links. If you like this video, please click that thumbs up button, and if you like videos like this, be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so that you'll be notified every time I release a new video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.